Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's free newsletter from Trade with Precision. This week I'm just going to talk through some of the markets which I'm keeping a close eye on for the trend flow trading strategy. Now this strategy, we need to find nice smooth flowing trending markets that have got nice chart structure and predictable chart structure across a number of time frames, and we've got quite a few of those markets running at the moment. Now, a couple of these markets, of course, are going to be the yen crosses, and let's take a look at some of the yen crosses which I like the most at the moment. Now, yeah, the dollar yen at the moment is looking very, very nice. From anything really from the daily chart downwards, the weekly is still looking a little bit overextended, but it is, like, if I open it up, still very powerful. We've still got nice momentum here on the indicators. But what I like about it is that we come down here to the daily chart. The daily chart's looking very, very solid. We're not looking very overextended from the moving averages. We've got some nice convergence on the indicators. The same across all the mid time frames here too. And if we come down to the lower time frames, so if I come down to the here like the 60-minute chart, we can see that we've had the pullback now. The pullback has now played out, and now we're starting to get a next leg of this trend to the upside. So moving averages all in the right order. We've got some nice convergence here on the indicators, and even coming down to the 30-minute and the 15-minute chart, we can start to see that we've got this structure in place quite nicely. Now the next one is the Euro Canadian. So let's have a look at euro against the Canadian dollar. Now what I like about this one is not so much a bit of contrast to the other markets. With this one we don't have that smooth flowing trend, but if we look at the weekly chart and these higher time frames, we can see that we've got this level through here. Certainly at the moment we're in a nice solid downtrend. We had been in a very nice structured uptrend, but now we've got this level through here. It's around sort of 1.40500 level through there that markets found support at before. It's also found resistance at in the past as well, and markets now pulling right back to it. So this area here is rather interesting to me. It actually happens to be very close to the sell zone there on the weekly chart. Now if I come down the time frames, we come down and take a look at the daily chart, we've got that same level in here. We can see that that's been tested many times through here recently. The market's found support there. The market's now sort of pulling right back up to that sort of area again. Moving averages in the right order again, but I'm looking for potentially support or resistance around this level and for a continuation of the downtrend. If we come down to the lower time frames here, come down to the 240 chart, we can see the 240 chart has now got a nice pullback. What I like about it is the fact that it is a straight pullback into this sort of area. Also happens to be the sell zone there on this time frame. Let's just come down to the lower time frames. Let's have a look at the 60, and I just want to draw my fib study from the low to the high. This area, where's that level? Well, there's the level that I was looking at on the higher time frames through here. We can see that's been tested again right the way down here on the 60-minute chart. It also happens to cluster with a 50% fib level too. So for me, I'm not looking at a potential cluster trade here. What I would prefer is for the extra confirmation and looking for a trend flow trade. So that's going to mean that we're going to be looking at these slightly higher time frames, probably executing the trade here on the 240 chart. Other markets that are my favorites at the moment, let's take a look at CAD yen. CAD yen, again, very, very nice structured uptrend here. I mean, almost sort of picture perfect from the daily, the 8-hour and the 4-hour chart. Very, very nice structured trend here. And each time the market comes back into the zone here, we get new opportunities for gaining entry into this market using the trend flow trading strategy. Let's come back to the Swiss yen as well. Let's take a look at the Swiss yen. Now, what I like about the Swiss yen, probably a bit more so than some of the others, is the fact that here on the daily chart, the market's already pulled back into the zone. It's already pulled back into the 10 period moving average, and now we're starting to get a nice momentum breaking out of it from here. So if I come down to the lower time frames, of course we can see that there's going to be a deeper pullback on the mid time frames and on the lower time frames because the daily's just pulled back into the averages. But coming down to the lower time frames here, you can see on the 1 hour chart, the 30-minute chart, and on the 15-minute chart here, the fact that now we've got a lovely structured trend in place, moving averages all in the right order, and lovely convergence too. So some of these markets looking very ripe for, you know, these nice smooth flowing trends. It's not all the forex markets. I mean, I've even come down here to the DAX and take a look at the DAX. We can see on these mid time frames, moving averages all fanning out nicely. Nice structured trend here on the 4 hour and on the 8 hour charts. And even if I come down to the lower time frames, starting to look here at the 60-minute chart and the 15-minute chart, very nice trend to the upside. Each time it comes back into the buy zone here, we're now starting to get new movement to the upside. Now, if you with these types of markets, the type of trading strategy that I like to use is a nice simple strategy. It's just a trend flow trading strategy that we call it. And what I'll just tell you about is, if I just come back to my slides here, if you want to find out more about this trading strategy, then you can join us on a webinar that we're running this week. We've got 2 sessions of it. It's called Learn a Simple 6-Step Trading Strategy. In this webinar, we're going to teach you the simple rules for this trading strategy, and we'll tell you all about it on this session. So there's going to be two times it's being run depending upon where you are in the world. So we've got on Tuesday the 25th, we've got 8 p.m. New York time, 12 noon Sydney the next day, or 2 p.m. Auckland next day. Or we have Wednesday the 26th, we've got 3 p.m. New York time, 8 p.m. London time, and 7 a.m. next day Sydney, and 9 a.m. Auckland next day as well. So if you want to find out more information about this strategy and this sort of particular techniques that we use in this trading strategy, then join us on this webinar. It is a special webinar. It's an hour-and-a-half long. You can join us for the most suitable time frame and time zone that's suitable for you. So look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.